Hey, fight fans, it is Thursday, July 27th. We're a couple of days away from UFC 214, and it's your resident combat sports guy, Andreas Hale from Yahoo Sports, and a few other websites you may know. Let's dive right into it. UFC 214 is a very, very, very loaded card, and we'll start right at the top with Jon Jones making his return against champion Daniel Cormier. An intriguing fight on a number of levels. We know this is probably one of the most heated rivalries and feuds in all of combat sports at this current moment. And it's an interesting fight because Jon Jones has never lost his title inside the cage. He's never lost a fight outside of a disqualification against Matt Hamill several years ago. And Cormier, his only loss is to Jon Jones. So what we're looking at is Jon Jones is entering this fight as a prohibitive favorite at around minus 260. You can find him at 5 dimes. Meanwhile, Cormier is an underdog at plus 240. It may sound a little bit wide, but these lines are actually pretty spot on. Jones has way too many ways to win, so that makes it very difficult to beat Cormier and his advanced age. He's 38. He's got about a decade on Jon Jones. The question is going to be, who is Jon Jones upon his return? Is he the same guy that we saw decimating Quentin Rampage Jackson, Mauricio Shogun, Lyoto Machida, and beating Daniel Cormier? Or is this time away from the cage may put a little bit of cage rust on him? He didn't look all that great against Ovince Prue. Here's my thing. Stay away from this fight. Watch it, enjoy it, but don't pick it. The reason why is, as much as you may like Jon Jones, we don't know who he's been for the past year. The USADA thing, all of his transgressions outside of the cage have probably factored in on his life, but it could make him a little bit more motivated. We just don't know. Cormier, he's only once beaten, and since losing to Jon Jones, he has 2 wins against Anthony Rumble Johnson. He's choked out Alexander Gustafsson. He choked out Rumble twice. He had the fight with Gustafsson, which went to a split decision, which he won. And he beat Anderson Silva, which is, Anderson Silva is old. So he hasn't faced anybody quite like Jon Jones. And again, this is a Jon Jones who beat Cormier, took him down at will, uses his length and reach very wisely. But again, we just don't know who he is. For that particular fight, I'd say stay away. The next fight I want to talk about is Maia and Tyron Woodley. It's a pretty interesting fight. Maia's not been rolling. I believe he's won about five or six straight since going back to his roots as a jiu-jitsu practitioner. Meanwhile, Tyron Woodley is the champ. He's had 2 not-so-fun fights against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. The first one went to a draw, which was pretty exciting. The second one was a stinker back in February, but he pulled out the decision. Woodley is pretty explosive here. Now, a lot of people want to side with Maia, who is currently at about a plus 175 underdog, according to 5 dimes. But here's the issue. Can Maia take down Tyron Woodley? Tyron Woodley is a minus 210 favorite here. We've got 5 rounds. Woodley has explosive power. He's hurt pretty much everybody he's fought. He's hurt Wonderboy twice. He smoked Robbie Lawler in the round. Can Demian Maia get close enough to a world-class wrestler to take him down? This isn't Carlos Condit. This isn't Matt Brown. This isn't anybody that Maia's fought before. I'm going to err on the side of caution here, and it'd be another fight that I'm going to pick Woodley, but at minus 210 is kind of tough. So if you're feeling strong about this when I say pick it, and again, I'll give you the reasons why. I don't think Maia can take him down. If he gets close enough, I think Woodley's going to hurt him. And at 5 rounds, it's going to take a scramble for Maia to get Woodley on the ground. And, once Maia gets you on the ground, it's pretty much over. Otherwise, I'd stick with Woodley here at the minus 210. This fight probably going the distance because Maia will be cautious. But, he could get a stoppage inside 5 rounds. Let's also look at Tanya Evinger and Chris Cyborg. Listen, guys, I just want to be honest with you here. If you feel like going for a Powerball pick Tanya Evinger. She has better odds as a plus 900 underdog than Conor McGregor in his first boxing fight against Floyd Mayweather, which you can find Conor is almost just a 3-1 underdog. It's pretty ridiculous. Look, Cyborg should destroy Tanya Evinger here. Cyborg's destroyed everybody she's faced. But at a plus 900, there's not much to talk about. Could Evinger win? Probably not. The only way that she does win is she weathers the storm, which she has a lot of guts as the Invicta women's bantamweight champion. But as a UFC women's featherweight fight, this is a fight that Evinger isn't built to win. Cyborg should crush her inside of 5 rounds and become the UFC featherweight champ that we've all expected her to become. Nothing more to say here. If you want to take a crapshoot, just go with Evinger. Otherwise, just stay away from this fight. So you guys want to know who I do pick? I do like Donald Cerrone against Robbie Lawler. Cerrone is a plus 140 fighting Lawler at welterweight, and Lawler's a minus 160. It's interesting to me because last time we saw Robbie Lawler, he got destroyed by Tyron Woodley. We hadn't seen him for some time, so fighting Cowboy Cerrone, who is a creative striker, who loves to brawl, could get very interesting. I think Cerrone's a little bit more creative with the striking than Lawler is, and we don't know which side of the career Lawler is on. So I like Cerrone here at the plus 140. Also on this card is one that makes me scratch my chin a little bit. It's Jason Knight being a minus 120 against Ricardo Lamas. Look, Ricardo Lamas has only lost to the top tier in the featherweight division, which is Jose Aldo, Max Holloway, Chad Mendes. Jason Knight beat Chad Skelly in his last fight, but that's not anybody even close to who Lamas has fought. You got to wonder what's going on there. I guess people are looking at Jason Knight as a guy on the rise. He is a guy on the rise, but he's fighting a guy in Ricardo Lamas who has a great deal of cage savvy, who is an excellent striker and is a pretty proficient ground game. So I would definitely go with Lamas here as my pick to click at plus 100. One more fight here. Renan Barão's a plus 105 against Aljamain Sterling, who is at minus 125. Look, this is another fight. Renan Barão's on the wrong side of his career. He looked terrible at featherweight. Hasn't looked too good at bantamweight. Going back to bantamweight to fight a rising star in Aljamain Sterling. Sterling is a guy who has youth on his side. He's lost a couple of close fights. But against Renan Barão, this is the one that should put his name on the map. Picking Aljamain Sterling here by decision. Even at minus 125, I think that line should be a little bit wider because Renan Barão just looked absolutely terrible as a featherweight and a bantamweight in his recent fights. This is long from the guy who became the UFC bantamweight champion. And if there was one other fight I would take a look at, a cold, hard look at, is Volkan Ozdemir against Jimmy Manuwa. Manuwa's a minus 180. Ozdemir is a plus 158. That's on 5 dimes. I'm expecting that line to move a little bit because Manuwa has a name recognition, but Ozdemir packs one hell of a punch. So for this fight, I'm actually going to go with Ozdemir because a lot of people really like Manuwa here, but I like Ozdemir. I like the guy on the rise to shake up the light heavyweight division. Manuwa's been focused on a fight with Daniel Cormier or a title shot with John Jones. I don't think he'll get either because I think he gets smoked by Ozdemir here. And that's my last pick. Pretty loaded card, UFC 214. I hope I was able to help you guys out. Go to the sports books and make your picks. Those 3 title fights in the main event, really tough to pick. So I'm going to recap what I said here. Stay away from Jones Cormier. Go with Tyron Woodley at minus 210. I think he's got too many tools and too much explosiveness for Damian Maia. Definitely go with Ricardo Lamas over Jason Knight. And my last pick is Donald Cerrone over Robbie Lawler. Donald Cerrone being the underdog here, Robbie Lawler being the weathered veteran. Both have had a lot of wars, but I think Robbie Lawler has been through more wars than Donald Cerrone, and he may get finished here, but I'm going to go with Cerrone via decision at plus 140. So there it is, folks, my UFC 214 picks, and we'll catch you next time. Peace out.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.